Welcome back, friendlies. Axel here with a new set of videos I'm going to start doing on the channel called Retro Reviews. These videos will be me going back through all the retro games I used to play and ones I never played and give you guys my thoughts on them. Now, just like my other reviews I'm not really going to give them some kind of score or anything. Instead, I'll give you my history with the games, the things I like, the things I didn't like, and how it holds up today. I've really been thinking about doing these sorts of videos for a while because it gives me reasons to go back through games and reasons to play games I never did. Who knows, maybe my review may interest you into checking out a game you weren't normally going to play. So, without further ado, here's my review for Cold Fear on the PlayStation 2.
Lansing? Oh, man. At least I found the code.
Cold Fear is a survival horror game that was released back in 2005. You play as a Coast Guard named Tom Hansen who is sent to investigate a Russian ship that you get a distress call for and quickly realize that this Russian ship isn't what they say it is. Now, when I first decided to do a review for this game, I had thought I had actually played this before back in the day. But I had gotten it mixed up with another horror game on PS2. I'm not going to say what that game is because I'll probably do a review for that one later on down the line. Back in the PS1, PS2 era, a lot of companies were chasing that Resident Evil train, and they were making games that were very similar to Capcom's Monster series. This is one of those games. It has the third-person, over-the-shoulder Resident Evil look and feel, from the movement to combat and even picking up shiny items.
My God.
This game is centered around you trying to survive the ship and the creatures that have taken over the ship while trying to rescue someone on board. The regular parasite enemies you'll be running into will charge at you, punching or slicing with weapons and knives. The only way to kill them is to either shoot them in the head or shoot them till they fall down and stomp on their heads, kind of like Resident Evil. Or you can also burn them as well. So if you don't destroy the heads or burn them, they'll just keep getting back up. Some of the things that do set this game apart from the Capcom games was there isn't item management in the game. You don't get health pickups and puzzle pieces that you have to manage. Instead, there's a medic room that you can go into to get health. There's also an ammunition room to fill your ammo up. You just have to remember where these are located because there's no map in the game. You also get some health and ammo occasionally from enemies or scattered throughout the game. There's also no save rooms or a way to manually save whenever you want. Instead, you get the option to save after you complete an objective. Even though there's no item management, you do have to still conserve your ammo as much as possible. There was a couple times I did have to go out of my way to go back to those rooms just to refill my stuff. There's a decent variety of enemies in the game. Most of the time you're fighting zombie-like soldiers, but there's also Russian soldiers that are still alive on the ship that will shoot at you. There's boss monsters and these little parasites that crawl on the floor and walls that can be a pain in the ass to shoot.
Evacuation Plan B. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Area cleared. Doors unlocked.
One of the things they did better than Resident Evil at that time was when you hold L1 to aim your gun to shoot, you can still move your character around. Something that I don't believe the Resident Evil games started doing until later. Maybe the exception of Dead Aim. I believe that one had it. I believe that came out first. Being able to do this allowed you to look more freely around the environment for not just enemies but items as well. This game also had situations where the ship would be swaying in the storm and it would cause your character to slide around. If you weren't careful or your resistance gauge was too low, you could fall off the ship and die. The resistance gauge was basically your stamina gauge. The acting and cutscenes are laughable at times, but it's what you would expect for this kind of game in the early 2000s. It's very Resident Evil-ish.
I'm sorry, Anna. So this is it, Tom. 2 patients, 1 cure.
The only real complaint I had while playing this game is there isn't a map to see where you need to go. It's not a big issue though. The key items you pick up do a decent job of telling you where you're supposed to be heading. You just gotta remember where these things are at. Cold Fear is a good survival horror game for the PS2 that I feel fans of the genre should still check it out. I wish that I had picked this back up when it came out back in the day, but I am glad I finally got a chance to go through it. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.